Here, what's going on, y'all? I'm bringing you another show. We haven't had a show in about a week. In a week, about a week. So I figured get on here and give y'all about a half hour. Just catch y'all up on current events, talk about some of the things that's going on. Before we get started, big shout out again to Filthy Rags Clothing. You know what I'm saying, got my wardrobe for today's show, and go check out their website. I'll put a link in the story when I post the story. So appreciate Filthy Rags for that. Start out today's show with a public service announcement. Today's public service announcement is I'm going to start using the phrase seven hells because I've watched a lot of House of Dragons, and that phrase is funny to me every time they say it. Seven hells. Yeah, man. What's worse than one hell? Seven. All right. So that's our PSA. So I saw a video, man, where it wasn't even a video, it was a picture. This one was a picture where dude was on a date with a girl. They had the dinner table, you know what I mean, out at a restaurant or whatever, eating dinner. And she got her phone on the table, swiping on the dating app while they had the dinner on his date. And so the question was, is he authorized then to get the check split? And I'm like, man, if she was bold enough to continue to swipe while you're sitting there at the table, I don't know, man. I feel like that might be grounds right there. Because clearly she's still on the hunt. Clearly she feels like she hasn't found what she's looking for in this. This ain't going nowhere for her. And so she's still on the hunt. And it's like, I don't know, G. Now, some people would say, well, it's too early for her to know. Why should she shut down her hunt just because she's on a date with this dude? Yeah, but it's a respect thing, man. It's sort of like if you have that much, if you're indifferent to him to that degree that you could do something like that in front of his face and not care what he would think, you know, you're kind of asking for it, to me, in my opinion. Kind of asking for it. So I think, he might be authorized in a situation like that to go ahead and cut his losses in the sense of, this ain't going nowhere. Let me just get up out of here and go home. And, let her continue her search on her own dime, though. On her own dime. That's crazy. That's crazy. It can't be the case that you can just treat people or mistreat people and, there'd be no consequence for it. That's the problem with the world right now. It's the problem with the world. And we got to stop that. All right. So, boom, that's that. Somebody said, I think it was like one of these memes with just text. They said, dating is slowly turning into prostitution. Like the dating itself is prostitution. Where like if you don't spend money, you can expect that that date will go poorly. But if you do spend money, you might have sex. How's that not prostitution though? You see what I'm saying? I think that was a big thing that we used to talk about on the show where, women will have sex with a dude that's rich for free. But the dudes that don't have money, they expect to pay for it. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, but that's kind of how it is for rich people, man, because they be getting their clothes for free. Rich people get a lot of clothes from designers for free because it's cool to, for them to wear their stuff. So, is it any surprise that they be getting, they get offered sex for free as well? Because it's just cool to be in their presence. So that's the pay. Why are we paying for it in the first place? All right. Why are we paying for it in the first place? In any way, shape, or form, whether it be just by your presence or, bringing them places or even monetary. Why are we paying for it? So, I don't know. I saw this other thing where, it used to be the case where back in the day, you were taught, if you were a female, how to be a lady, quote unquote, how to be a lady. And the whole purpose of that training was to make you attractive to a husband, right? Somebody would think of you as a wife because you acted like a lady, and that would make you attractive. And then we got away from all of that, with the women's revolution and all that stuff. And Y'all can do what y'all want. And y'all equal to us in every way, fashion, and form, and y'all work just as hard and all of these things. And I'm not saying you don't, but I think casualty of that was the training that you used to get. You get taught how to be a lady, and I think what happens then is it was true that the stuff that you learned when you were learning how to be a lady actually did make you attracted to a man because you learned how to, you know, be mild mannered, how to carry yourself in a room, how to carry yourself around other people, his friends, his boss, you know, his family. You learn how to carry yourself. That was a major part if you're trying to be a lady. You know how to, handle different dinners and, how to do the silverware and blah, 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 blah. You just learned a bunch of things that I would have to say as a man would make you attractive to a man as far as, marrying. But now that that's lost, I mean, a lot of women don't even know what it is that men are attracted to. A lot of women are going out there and getting all these degrees and jobs and climbing the corporate ladder thinking, I'm a catch because look what I've accomplished. You're not. You're not a lady. That's facts, man. If you're not a lady, your accomplishments are not going to help you find a husband. All right? The fact that you got these degrees and this money and these houses and these cars does not make you attracted to any man. And then the one video we posted showed you that the opposite is true, that you're unattractive. Because if I'm a man and I make something $600,000 a year, I want to be able to get up and go. If you're climbing the corporate ladder and you're the president of your company, you can't get up and go. You know what I mean? You got a company to run. You know what I mean? Especially if you're going to the office every day. You can't just get up and go. Let's go on vacation right now today. You can't. You know what I mean? And so dudes that make a lot of money don't want a woman that makes the money like that, can't get up and go. They'd rather have somebody who hasn't accomplished that much that can get up and go. They're there for the good time. You know what I'm saying? It's not that he just keeps her there for that, but that's part of it. Is the whole reason to make money like that is to have options. You don't have no options when she's making money like that, but she can't go nowhere. So anyway, you might even be less attractive with all those accomplishments. And you are, you're hurting yourself if you're not learning how to be a lady. Because that's the stuff when, a woman is mild-mannered, kind to a fault, and forgiving, courteous, soft, pleasant to be around. All of these things, man, I mean, that's what makes you attractive. That's what men are looking for, not someone who's climbing the corporate ladder. What does that do for me? How does that help me? You know what I mean? So this thing about that, ladies, that you're doing what you're doing on your search. Anybody that was looking for tips, all right, that's a tip. It's learn how to be a lady. Go back to that, okay? Because that was the stuff that was helping. Bring back shame. Bring back the ability to feel shame for something that you did that you're not supposed to be doing. That might help. Start there. And then take that beginning, that base, that foundation, and then learn how to be a lady on top of that. That'd be very helpful. Let's talk about. Did y'all know that the song "Can We Talk" was not intended for Tevin Campbell? I learned that this week. That song was not for Tevin Campbell. That song was for Usher. And apparently it fell to Tevin Campbell because somebody in Tevin Campbell's camp, I think it was Babyface, who said, spoke up for him. It was like, nah, Usher's cool. We want Tevin to sing it. But that song wasn't intended originally for Tevin Campbell. He sang the dog crap out of it. Good thing it didn't go to Usher. Shit, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Can We Talk was one of them jams, man. It's still a jam. If that comes on right now, you're going to sing it with your whole heart because Tevin sang it that way. I think Usher might have done a decent job, but I don't think he would have done it like Tevin. Just think about that. We dodged a bullet there, y'all. There was a thing that came up recently where dude was talking about how he, opened up to his significant other, wife or girlfriend, and he wished he hadn't. He said that, come to find out, men don't have anywhere to go with their feelings. Right? They can't go to their wives or girlfriends. And I know a lot of the reaction to that is, oh, yes, he can. You just got to find the right one. But it's not. That's not true. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true. I think it is the case that men should not open up and tell all their feelings to their significant. That's not a thing. And the reason why I say that is because as soon as you do, man, she starts to see you as weak, right? Emotional, crying all the time, constantly whining, always got something wrong, can't handle little things in life, you know. And I think, some of them to their own, they don't want to be like that. They don't want to think like that, but it's hard not to. I mean, when you got a dude that's constantly being in his feelings about some stuff, they want you to be strong. They want you to show that you can handle almost anything. They can come to you. You'll be the strong one. And you can't do that when you're constantly the emotional one. You know, especially if you get emotional about something that she feels like she could have handled without getting emotional. You're barking up the wrong tree there. So I don't know. To me, I think it is the case that men should not be opening up to their significant others. As much as they say they want you to and all this other stuff, open up to me, talk to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Talk to anybody else, man. Talk to anybody else. I don't think she should know that you're talking to somebody else, but don't talk to her about your feelings. That's not going to go well. Never has. I don't think that ever has gone well in the history of mankind. Somebody has a good story about that, let me know. But to me, I don't think that has ever gone well or in the man's favor to open up his feelings a bunch of times with his significant other. Don't do it. She's going to tell you she wants you to do it. Don't do it. Okay? Ever. Not even ever. Okay. Why are we clear on that? Another thing you should never do is which one was it? There's another thing that you should not ever do as a man. And I'm looking for it on my notes. Anyway, we'll have to come back to it because I can't find it on my notes. Yeah, we'll have to come back to that one. There's another thing that you should never do as a man with your woman. Oh yeah, being romantic. That was it. Don't be romantic. Even if you do something nice to her, sweet for her, something, do it in a kind of a mean way. Don't just be like nice and sweet, because they don't like that. They don't like that. They say they do. They say they do. But as soon as you start, a bunch of times, constantly lovey-dovey all up under them, being like, oh my God, he's so obsessed with me. Oh my God, he won't leave me alone. Oh my God. They start thinking you're weak. You're sprung. They can do anything they want and get away with it because look how obsessed with them you are. And that's the last place you want to be as a man, right? So even if you do something nice, do it kind of a little bit mean. Just to let them know, like, I ain't, you cool or whatever. I'd like to do nice stuff for you, but not all like that. Not to where you can just get crazy. Which is stupid. It's dumb. But you have to, man. You have to. It's like a psychological warfare out there, man. You'll lose, man. If you don't follow these rules, you're going to lose. All right? So, again, don't ever open up to her about your feelings and don't be all romantic. If you do something nice, do it kind of mean. All right? That's the rules. Boom. That's great advice, by the way. So listen to that. Dude said he was in a relationship and the girl that he was in a relationship with cheated on him and then she died. And he said, that's what I'm talking about, Jesus. And I'm like, that's funny, but man, it be feeling like that. They do, man. Like, like cheating stuff. That stuff is crazy how much it bothers you, man. That stuff sticks with you. You get cheated on, that stuff sticks with you. And so, like, I don't know why people do it so wantonly, where they don't think twice, impulsively just do it. And the devastation that you're bringing in on people, man, is it's almost unspeakable. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tread lightly kind of thing. So I kind of get the sentiment there of almost rejoicing when it does. I ain't saying you should do that. You should have some forgiveness in your heart, man. But That stuff hurts, man. Y'all gotta be careful what y'all doing to people, man. And then we've talked about it before, but there's people, man, especially newly divorced women. Newly divorced women are the scourge of the earth. Okay, they are what's wrong with the planet. Because they will do anything, man. Newly divorced women will do anything. They don't, and it's wild. It's wild because they say that 90% of the other woman situations, the other woman is a newly divorced woman, and most of them are dating married men. Even the ones that got out of their marriage because of infidelity, because the man was unfaithful to them. They leave that marriage, and then they go and find themselves a married man. And I just don't understand that, because I understand it from a man's point of view, obviously, because he's doing it because he can. But from a woman's point of view, like, women are your own problem. You are doing it to yourselves. You're doing it to yourselves. And then the answer to it when I say that is, well, I don't know her. It's like, yeah, but do you have to? You know how it felt when it was you. You know how it felt when it was you. But they can't be convinced that it matters, man. I don't know, man. Like I said, I think cheating is some of the most devastating thing that could ever happen to you. Some people don't feel that way. Some people are not bothered when they get cheated on. They are not bothered. I don't know how they're doing that. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know what has to happen in your childhood to make it so you don't care. Or maybe it's just because of how you feel about the person that's doing the cheating. Maybe you don't love that person anymore, so they can do whatever they want. I've been in that situation where, I didn't care about the person enough. I cared about them, but not enough to where if they had cheated on me, I was going to trip out for some type of way. So, yeah, man. Yeah. But also, I wasn't sleeping with them. So I think that's another thing, man. If you start sleeping with somebody, you're trusting them to protect you, medically. And you find out they've betrayed that trust, and they've been putting you in danger for probably a long period of time, longer than you even realize. That is the part that really bothers me. It's like, man, I got kids, G. You got me out here being exposed to the world, thinking that, it can't happen to me, because, you know what I mean? Like, gee, that's what bothers me. You're playing with my life. All right, you're playing with my life, and you're playing with my life with people that you don't know. You don't know him. You don't know him. You just met him. You're playing with my life because you don't know who he been with. You know what I mean? And this dude's out there playing a dangerous game. You know what I mean? What's going on one time for Atlanta? It's 2024. We allies. Y'all do what you want to do. But when you go mixing stuff up, that's when stuff gets dangerous, man. Come and find you playing with my life. You think it's funny. So anyway, when he says, that's what I'm talking about, Jesus, I get it, man. I get it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I understand. Okay? I'm just saying I understand. Boom, boom, boom. One dude said that I just got a new job, so I guess all my 4 grandparents just got to respawn like video games. I was like, that's hilarious. If you don't get to tell you saying that, on your old job, your 4 excuses for your 4 grandparents' deaths. And so now that you have a new job, suddenly they're back to life. That's the way again at some inconvenient but very convenient time for you. That's cold. That's cold. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but that's funny that people think that way. Did y'all know that Greece just voted for and put into place a 6-day work week? 6-day work week. And they said they did that because they said they wanted to boost productivity and employment, citing a shortage of skilled workers and a shrinking population. If you don't know, they had a economic crisis a couple years ago, and a lot of people went elsewhere, emigrated elsewhere, and left Greece. And so that's why there's a smaller population, shortage of workers, blah, blah, blah. And so to combat that, they went to 6-day work week. I feel like that would be that's my sign. If I was on the fence about leaving, that would have been my sign. Like, okay, yeah, it's time to go. Ain't no way. I'm not okay with the 5-day work week. I'm already not doing well. with a 5-day work week. So you can make it 6 days. You can count me out, buddy. I'm going to Italy. That's the thing. In Europe, Italy's right up the street, man. It ain't like, you know, Italy is for the United States. If you're in Greece, Italy's right up the street, man. You can go do something else. It's like moving from Nebraska to Wyoming. Like, yeah, I can just go, man. I don't have to stay here. But anyway, that's Greece for you, man. I couldn't do it. It was a thing. There was a video that we posted talking about how we didn't even post this one. We just didn't talk about it though. How women plan to have fun, and men just have fun, right? Where women will, 2 months from now, plan a brunch, and get all the friends together, do reminders, make sure everybody gets there. And a dude would just show up on your porch, be like, "Hey, man, I'm on your porch. Open the door, come outside," and then they'll do a thing, whatever it is, and it'll be fun. It would be not planned at all. Not planned at all. So the funny thing about that is just a different way we go about doing things, and so it causes friction sometimes when we're trying to get together and do things with men and women. Men are like, "Let's just go now. Let's just do it now." Women are like, "No, we gotta. How are we gonna plan? We gotta plan. We gotta plan to plan to plan. We gotta give people time. What? Man? Let's just go. Let's just go out there. Let's go downtown. Let's get some drinks and start from there, and just let the night be the night." That's the thing. I think we're good at that. I know I'm good at that. Where I can freestyle a night and it'd be one of the best nights of your life. No planning whatsoever. Didn't know we were going to do that before we got there. Best nights of your life. I think the Navy helps teach you that too. You go on these foreign ports. You know what I'm saying? Boom! Here's a question. Do you believe single moms shield their sons from pain and adversity rather than teaching them how to deal with it? I thought that was profound. Single moms shield their sons from pain and adversity rather than teaching them how to deal with it. I think that might be true, man. I think that might be true. You can tell me what you think, but the thing about that is, if you look at how a lot of single moms treat their sons, they have sonsmans, right? They have sonsmans, but they're very, very protective of their sons. Whether they're single moms or not, they're protective of their sons. But the consequence of that is that they don't handle adversity very well as adults. I can tell you, in boot camp, who the products of single mom households were. Because the dudes that be crying when they get yelled at, it's kind of a telltale sign, man. Now sometimes that's not true because a lot of times, single mom households, you grew up in poverty, man, in some rough neighborhoods, around some rough individuals. And sometimes you can kind of find your way that way, but it's because of the influence of the men in those areas, man. They become your example of what to be and how to be. A lot of those dudes end up being, a little bit tougher, more seasoned, and so you kind of learn that way. But your mom was middle class. You didn't grow up around those kind of individuals. Your examples were few and far between. Just say it doesn't look well. Again, in the military, it kind of shows itself where who's able to handle what. A lot of times you get thrown into a leadership position in the military. You didn't know it was going to be there, but it's there. It's here now, and you're it, and go. And you don't know what you're doing or how to do it, and nobody's going to tell you. That's how it goes a lot of times. But it's, they need somebody to do a thing, and you're here, so go. Some dudes handle that well, and some dudes don't. But I think, again, if you think about how they grow up in single mom households, just saying, ladies, just saying. So while you're over here preaching today, my son don't need a dad. I think it's more telling than you realize it is, especially to other men. Right? When we're all adults and he's out on his own, I'm out on my own. I come in contact with him through work or whatever. You can tell. You can tell. So as much damage as you don't think you're doing, you're probably doing a lot more damage than you think. Consider that. Sometimes the father don't want nothing to do with the kids. Sometimes that's true. So there's nothing you can do about that. You got to do the best you can, and let God do the rest. I get that. But sometimes the reason why his father's not in his life is because of you. Let's just be honest about that. And you're hurting him. You are. You're doing real damage. And it's evident to other men that he comes into contact with as he gets older. It's not benign. It's not a small deal. So if you can avoid it, do not do that to him. Don't do that to your sons, ladies. Boom. Um. Oh, there was a video we posted. Said that. So there was a group. There's a talk show called No Homo Show. I think it's what it's called. No Homo Show. And it's a group of lesbians. I guess stud is the term. If that's not the term, somebody let me know. I'm not trying to offend. I'm trying to use the term that is being used right now. So there's a show with studs on there, and they're just talking about their dating experience. But one of the things that they were saying is that a lot of the women that they're dating are finding are not gay. They're not really gay. They can bring themselves to do some of the stuff, that's necessary, but they're not really gay. What they really are looking for the benefits of being gay. Which I was like, there's benefits of being gay? What's the benefits? I didn't know that. Benefits for women, you know what I mean, to be lesbians. What's the benefits? And she was talking about stuff like, you think because you're with a woman that you're going to be more understood. You're going to be, communicated with better. You're going to understand you better sexually. You're going to watch your kids. They're going to give you money because, I don't know if y'all know, but it's kind of a known thing within the community that, they like to spoil their women, man. And typically they're well educated. They have really good employment, and they like to spoil their women, man. They get them whatever they want. And so, these are benefits. These are real deal benefits. You can leave your child with this person and know that they have some nurturing spirit where they're going to be okay. It's like having another you there to watch your kids while you go do whatever it is that you need to go do. Rather than leaving with a man that you're dating, that's not as comfortable. Yeah, getting spoiled and all of these things. And so that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for a relationship with, like another gay person. They're looking for a relationship with a woman who's going to give them these benefits. And as the relationship goes on, though, it becomes more and more understood that this person is not really gay. They don't really want to do these things. The things that come with, that should come with a gay relationship. They don't want to do them. They tolerate them in order to gain the benefits. But eventually, a consequence of that is they end up still on the hunt for a male husband. Eventually, they're not looking to marry the person that they're with. They're just looking for the benefits while they still continue to search for their husband. Eventually, they end up with dudes. Eventually, they go back and they end up with dudes, and the studs that they were with are brokenhearted, man, because they love like women. They're still women. You know what I mean? They're still women. They love like women. They love hard and deep. They give themselves to these people who are not serious from the get-go, not being serious with them, or truthful. And so what the studs were saying was profound in this regard, especially to me. It's what resonated with me. Because they found exactly what men found. Is that there are women out here who are in the relationships for what's in it for them. They want to be spoiled and treated like princesses, but they themselves are not princesses. They do not deserve this treatment. They are not the caliber of person that would deserve this kind of treatment. They want to dog you, but they still want to be treated like princesses because they're them and they just deserve it. And it's like, who is telling y'all this? And it's funny to hear the studs say this because even they're seeing it. Like, you were getting spoiled by me, and then you were treating me like crap the entire relationship, and then you leave me for a dude. Like, you were never serious about this, and you let me pour into you. So, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Unless you show yourself to be worthy, I'm not doing that. Studs are saying that. That's not men. That's not men. You know what I mean? And so I thought it was cool because it's like validation, man. It's like saying we all are seeing the same thing. All right? It's not us. It's not us. It's not the more masculine. So it's the feminine ones, man. Y'all got to get your lives together. Deserve it. Be somebody that deserves it. And no, you don't deserve it just because you're you. You don't deserve it because your dad said you do. You don't. All right. Again, be the lady. Honestly, we were talking earlier about being a lady. Be a lady. And then you might deserve it. Okay? Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Sometimes. Here's some advice. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Be that kind of person. Don't do it for me. You know what I mean? Don't do it because of what you can get from it. Do it because it's the right thing to do. Do it as much as you possibly can. Then you might deserve the princess treatment that you're looking for. A lot of y'all don't. A lot of y'all don't do that. You don't deserve it. I don't care who's telling you what. You don't deserve it. And I don't care what you look like. Having looks doesn't make it so that you deserve it. Don't. So think about that. That was profound though. I thought. Man, this lady. You know what? We have 30 minutes, and I don't want to waste this one. I'm going to save this for the next show. There's a couple more that I wanted to get through, but I'm going to save them for the next show. We're at 30-minute mark. So I covered some ground. I thank y'all for being here and checking us out. Love you. Peace. Check out Filthy Rags Clothing. Check them out. This is a good one. I like this one.